The type of rigging we're going to do for Camper is referred to as hinged rigging, and it works on a parent-child hierarchy. Now, the cool thing about this is Toon Boom Harmony has an excellent parent-child working system, and it's pretty easy to figure out. But what I want to do right now is explain to you some of the basics of how it works. So I'm going to go ahead and insert a new drawing layer for a moment here. And I'm going to simply call this bicep. I'll add another layer. We'll call this forearm. And add another layer, and we'll call this hand. And I'll click Add and Close. So I'm just going to draw out a rough here. I'm going to solo each of these layers. So for the bicep, let's grab my black paint here. I'm just going to draw out a simple little bicep. Go to the forearm layer, and I'll draw out the forearm. And for the hand, I'll draw out the hand. And as we did in the previous lesson, I'm going to set the pivot point by grabbing my advanced animation tool, the rotate tool. So I'll click on that, and if you don't see that, simply go to Windows, come down to Toolbars, and select Advanced Animation. Okay, so I'll set the pivot point for the hand, right at the wrist, and set forearm right at the elbow, and the bicep I'll set right up at the top there, right at the shoulder. And again, a way you can look at the pivot point, I'm going to go ahead and grab my transform tool a moment, and you can see right where that pivot point is. It's just where the drawing object is going to rotate from. Okay? So go back to my select tool. And the way that the parent-child hierarchy works is we're going to make the forearm the child of the bicep, and then make the hand the child of the forearm. Okay? Now, if that seems confusing, let's go ahead and place these in order. We'll put the bicep up top, then the forearm, and then the hand. So to do our parenting, I'll simply click on the forearm, and I'm going to push this directly under the bicep. And you'll see this little line here. And once I let go, I can now see that this is kind of stair-stepped in. So now the bicep is the parent of the forearm. I'll now take the hand, and I'll drag that right under the forearm. So the bicep is the parent of the forearm, as well as the hand, and the forearm is the parent of the hand. Now, where all of this comes in handy is simply using the transform tool. And if you look, we have the hand right now. And I'm going to use a keyboard shortcut, simply press the letter B, and it moves up the hierarchy, so I can move the forearm and the hand. If I press the letter B again, it moves even further up the hierarchy, so I'm controlling the bicep or the whole arm. And to move down the hierarchy, I'll press Shift and the letter B. And press Shift B again, and I just have the hand controlled. So what we've created is a hinged parent-child relationship, and it's going to give us a lot of power for our cutout animation. And that is how we're going to be building the character Camper.